Hello everyone, my name is Vikrant Athole and I am partner of OOB Consulting, and VRiddhi estimation software has been launched by us. In this video we are going to cover how we are going to work with material cost. So let us start with an estimation. So this part has already been selected for estimation purposes, and as you could see, the profit and reductions are purposely been kept zero. So we click on this, proceed with estimation, and this is the first screen. What we have is material. So in material cost, very first of all you have to do is selection of the unit systems, that is whether you are going to work with metric or whether you are going to work with imperial, that is inch standard. Then we have is two more selections. One is consideration of scrap, and second is whether it is a free issued material either by customer or you have that material with you and you are not going to charge it to the customer. So at this moment we will cover this in the last section of this video. Then the very first thing what you have to do is selection of the material grade. For that, the side glass, click on it, you have the complete database of the grades what you have. I can go over here, select the grade, say 1045 is my grade. Okay, I have selected this carbon steel, validated. As soon as I validate, I get the grade over here and the density of the grade over here. Next we are going to select what is the kind of material, whether it is a bar stock, whether it is a casting or forging, whether it is a pipe or it is a profile. So as soon as we click on this, there will be separate selections what we have. As we know, like bar stock, the distribution is always by weight, so you have to select the cost distribution by weight. If I select casting, and you get the selection whether the cost of that casting is per piece basis or per weight basis. So you have the flexibility of selecting that. If I go into pipes, as you are all aware, pipes you get it in weight also as well as in running meters also, means in terms of length also. So you have the flexibility of choosing what you want. Or even in profiles are all length and weight. So let us start with the bar stock. My cost distribution is by weight and metal form is round. As soon as I click on this round, I get the further selections and dimensions what I need to put in. Very first of all we will add is the cost of the material. So let us assume it is 98 rupees per kg. Since I have considered scrap over here, I will have to give some value to the scrap. Let us consider 18 rupees as scrap per kg. If you are not sure on the confirmed prices of material, you have the buffer over here which is known as metal markup, and you could enhance this. So we will keep is 5% as metal markup. The very first thing is the diameter of the bar. Diameter of bar, let us start with 50 diameter. Workpiece cut length, this is the actual cut length of the workpiece what you are going to get out of a bandsaw or maybe even on parting on the lathe. So this I will consider as 102. I will give 2 mm excess for facing and all. Then this is the full length of the bar. What is the length of the bar that you are going to get as standard from your supplier, whether it is 2 meters, whether it is 3 meters or whether it is 5 meters. So I will click on this and say 3 meters is standard bar length what I get. Then we have is parting tool thickness. This is nothing but the thickness of the bandsaw or the parting. If you are going to do parting on a lathe, then the thickness of the parting tool. So at this moment let us keep it to 1 mm as bandsaw. This is work holding. Suppose even if you are parting it on a lathe or even if you are doing it bandsaw, there will be an end piece which you will not be able to cut it. You need to hold some material in the vise to allow the bandsaw to cut, or as well as even in when you do it bar feeding, at that time there is a residual material which you cannot use it further on bar feeding. You have to enter that. It is not a compulsion. If you enter it, it will take into consideration. If you don't enter it, it will just bypass it. But I will show you the difference when you consider this and when you don't consider this. So assuming I am going to do is bandsaw and 150 mm, that is 6 inch of my material will remain in the vise which I cannot further go for cutting. So let us calculate. Now this is what we are getting. We are getting is a cost per piece at 154.89. We have the total volume, cut piece volume I mean. We have the total bar weight. The The bar weight, total bar weight is 41.23. The scrap weight per piece generation during, I'm not talking about after machining, I'm talking about during cutting it as blank pieces. It is 0.13 kg. The gross weight is 1.53 and the net weight of the workpiece is 1.4. So in a 3 meter bar, you will have is 27 pieces. So practically your costing will work in this manner. So you have the rate of 98, you have the markup of 5%, so 98 into 1.05, this is your cost of the material, into total weight of bar, that is into 41.23, and the whole divided by the cut pieces what you are going to get, the pure cut pieces which you could go ahead with machining. So divided by 27. This you get is 157.132. This you will be minus with the scrap of 2.25 minus 2.25. Okay, 154.8821. So it has been rounded up to 154.89. So let us have a look. If we don't consider the minimum holding length, if I consider this as 0, what happens? I will have to come out this thing, so it will ask whether since the calculation has been done, do you want to continue with the modification? I say continue. So now 154.89, I will click on calculate material cost. Proceed. 145.95. So this is what exactly happens, and practically most of the time people forget to consider this cost, and they end up with material cost being calculated in an inappropriate manner. Mainly material cost contributes to at least minimum 30% and maximum to 55% of the total cost of the component. So it's all depend on the kind of material what you are going to use and the processes what you need to do further on that raw material. So it is a significant cost which needs to be taken very carefully. Now let us have a look. Suppose if it is a free issued material, what happens? Yes, proceed with changes. Now we have made the changes. I will say calculate material cost. It is again asking me, since it's this length, minimum holding length is not being provided, do we need to proceed? I say proceed. Now you have the negative this thing. Why this negative is there? Because the scrap is, generation of scrap is been eliminated from that. So let us put this 150 also and check what is the scrap deduction what we have. Continue, calculate 2.25. So this is how you are going to work with material cost. Let us eliminate the scrap and check the final listing figures. Let us check with 0. Continue, let's calculate material cost, proceed, 0. Because since you are not considering the cost of the scrap, the cost per piece becomes 0. Here we have, due to some reasons, if you make some mistakes during selection or something like this, you have an option of modifying current data. It will say what you would like to modify. I would like to say only calculation, then only the calculations will go from here. Or if I say I would like to write from material selection or restart from start. If I say restart from start, the whole thing will get 0. Right? So once you do the complete calculation of the material, you could say with the save and proceed to setup. So let's have a look once again. 1045. Let's validate. This time we will consider is an casting, forging and block. Right. My costing is going on per piece basis. I will remove this free material. Casting, forging, block has been taken as this thing. Cost per piece. This is the cost per piece what I am going to input it over here. Let us assume it's 200. Material markup. Let us keep it 0 at the moment. I would say is consider scrap. It has been scrap will be considered. The scrap will not be probably considered over here. It will go into your operations where you will be doing the drilling and all this thing. At that time, the scrap will come into consideration. So mark this 5%. Consider scrap, yes. Let us put this. Okay, there is no scrap selection for this category as we are casting and forging block is direct consideration. So calculate material cost. This is the cost per piece what we have. If I change this thing to 3%, 206. If I put it at 0, continue. After the cost of the material has been calculated, you could say save and proceed. I'll save the data and proceeded. Then only you could go into enter into setup and all the estimation overview and all this thing. So if I make some changes over here, and I have not saved it, it is telling me most of the material cost has been calculated but not saved to the estimation. Alteration has not been saved. I say continue, and then if I try to move this, it will indicate me that material cost is not saved. I will have to save this to start with any changes. And at any given point of time, if I try to move out from this estimation page, it will not allow me to move out of the estimation page. So you have to say stop estimation and return, then only you are been allowed to move anywhere where you want. So this is a methodology wherein we ensure the data is been properly saved before we exit out of any of the, especially in estimation. So that's all for the moment. If you have any queries, you could write it down to us. And I hope you are enjoying these videos because we are enjoying it when we receive feedback from most of you. So do keep writing to us. Thanks a lot for your valuable time. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.